Greetings, this is August 10th at 11 a.m. and we're just going to take a look at satellite infrared updates that were received at 8:41 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So here's the latest in the last 6 hours before this update was released. And you can see again the southwest Highway 97, Highway 99, and the eastern flank, the northeastern flank, and around the Boston Flats area. Here we are looking at the 6 to 12 hour update, and I'm seeing no significant violation of that perimeter that was established yesterday. These are areas of intensity concentrated in those 3 to 4 regions of the Elephant Hill fire. I'm just taking a look at the perimeter right now, and we'll click on to the stats. We are looking at 27,939 hotspots with 139,892 hectares involved at the time of this calculation. Again, check with the TNRD, check with BC Wildfire. They are surveying the perimeter and will give you the official count. This is only a satellite infrared system that's gauging the size and scope of the Elephant Hill fire. Here we are looking at the intersection of Highway 99, Highway 97, north to Maiden Creek. I see slight patterning and control strategies being conveyed in infrared to the north. Looks like going up the north ridge of Maiden Creek. I'm also seeing these 4, now 5 control patterns that appear south of Highway 9 at the Hat Creek junction there. I'm seeing a lot of horizontal patterning that appear to be applying a strategy over top of the random infrared that would make up the bulk of the fire area. Let's now take a look at the Boston Flats region of the Elephant Hill fire, and the hotspots that I'm seeing about 4 kilometers west of Highway 97. They look like they're on top of the hill between Boston Flats and McLean Lake, and we are looking at the 6 hour and the 6 to 12 hour combined right now. And we're going to look at the entire 24 hours prior to this update at 8:41 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We can see where the concentration is. It does look like it's right on the hilltop. There's the fire perimeter now in place, and it still appears to be within the existing fire perimeter. I've not done overlays to see how some of these little jogs and curves have changed specifically to that area. Now we're jumping over to the southeast flank, and here in the 6 hour time frame before this update, we can see a lot of that patterning right in the center on the overtop of random infrared. And I now see at the 6 to 12 hours and the 6 hour update some of this tightly grouped horizontal patterning. It appears to be blocking off a southern flank and also isolating growth by eliminating fuel. Again, I'm speculating based on what I'm seeing in infrared at this time. We see these 2 extrusions that are approaching the Deadman River, and it's being held back at the ridgeline where the hoodoos are, And if you look to the southeast of Arrowstone Park, there is some activity going on there still. We are now moving several kilometers north. This is to the northeast flank, and that intense activity that's going on in the lake region south of Upper Loon Lake, between Upper Loon Lake and Loon Lake, and north towards the Bonaparte, and approximately 4 to 5 kilometers from Young Lake. There is a scale in the bottom right hand side of the screen. Do pause the screens, take a closer examination if you can't get on these satellite sites yourself. This is now the full 24 hours of infrared heat prior to this update, and we see furious activity between Loon Lake and Upper Loon Lake. That must be something to see if you're on the ground or you're in the air there. Probably columns of smoke with frantic activity both on the part of the fire and the crews that are beating this back. I do see a couple of outliers to the east along Upper Loon Lake. We'll want to keep a watch on those. There is the Chasm Clinton area over the last 6 hours prior to 8:41 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. No new hotspots. There's in the 12 hours before this update. We see 2 hotspots on the top of the hill towards the Hart Ridge, southeast of Clinton. And now we're going to the 24-hour period, and we see approximately half a dozen spots on top of the hill southeast of Clinton, and we see 2 spots southeast of the Chasm Ecological Reserve, approximately 3 to 4 kilometers away. Let's call it 3 kilometers. There's the perimeter as it passes through the park and over Clinton. We see that one jog that went over Highway 97 to the west, south of Clinton, around the 3 Mile Lake area. That's a really quick overview so that you can see the screens that I'm seeing, and now you can make your own analysis and your own interpretation of the data. Remember, get it verified by multiple sources. I usually try to catch the Canadian Wildland Fire Information System early in the morning before it gets bogged down. So this data is for your perusal and comparison with earlier data so that you can see and make a decision based on your position and the routes that you need to travel. You want to check with the TNRD and the BC Wildfire for the latest evacuation notices. And let's take a look at Windy. I'm seeing northwest flows at 4 kilometers an hour. Those small blue patches are the windsocks. They're a feature of Windy, and they can be placed at various regions. And that's also close to where weather stations are picking up data. Here is the big bar cam. There's not been a lot of change over the last 3-4 days. It's that hazy, stale, smoke-filled air with low wind velocity, primarily from the northwest. If you read Tolkien, it looks like one of the last roads to Mordor. And this is a status that will change. There is a wind shift predicted, expected within about 24 hours. You may see evidence of that later on in the afternoon with variation in gusts. And I've heard just in chatter that a wind shift is already occurring north of us in the Caribou. So it's something to watch for. Be prepared. Know your position. Know what your escape routes are. Have your resources ready, and be safe, everyone.